Nice day here in Washington, D.C. as this long weekend series continues. Game 3 as the Cubs and the Nationals do battle. The Cubs winning Thursday night, the Nationals last night. Great to have you with us. Hope your Saturday morning is going well. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. The Nationals won last night, but Anthony Rizzo was the best player on the field.
Yeah, very impressive show by Rizzo last night. The Cubs have really struggled to score runs over the last couple weeks or so. Anthony Rizzo had a big night last night, however. Ambushed Tanner Roark on a first-pitch fastball for a home run off the facade of the second deck, and then his next at-bat, he went deep to dead central and almost hit a third home run. Denard Span had to climb the wall to take extra bases away from Rizzo. And that third at-bat, 10-game hitting streak, 361, 2 long ones, 5 driven in for Rizzo. He's been the man for the Cubs all year long.
And that 10-game streak tied for his career best. Starlin Castro out of the lineup for the first time today. Addison Russell will start at short. Interesting day on the mound. Jason Hamill has never lost to the Nationals. Joe Ross has never pitched in the big leagues.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Jason Hamill, 8-0 career against Washington, 5-0 here in this ballpark, coming off a dominant performance last time out. A career high 11 strikeouts against the Marlins. And we'll see Joe Ross, younger brother of Padre pitcher Tyson Ross, up from Double-A to make his major league debut.
Cubs in third place, 3 games over 500. The Nationals jump past the Mets back into first, and some great glove work last night in Game 2. We'll have Game 3 of this series coming up next.
Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
And welcome back. Nice day here in D.C. and we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on RCN and also around the world on the American Forces Network. And if today's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Right-hander Joe Ross making his major league debut, and he'll face the following Cubs Southwest starting lineup: Fowler, Rizzo, and Bryant, 1, 2, and 3. Montero back in the lineup last night, homered. Junior Lake again in right with Jorge Soler on the DL. Coughlin in left. Jonathan Herrera gets a rare start. And second is Jason Hamill having an excellent year on the mound and at the plate. And we mentioned Addison Russell making his first major league start at short.
Nationals defensively, Clint Robinson gets a start in left field today. Denard Span made a spectacular play last night on Rizzo. He's burned the Cubs a couple of times this year. Bryce Harper is playing outstanding defense in right. Infield, Rendon Desmond, Espinosa, and Zimmerman. Behind the plate, Wilson Ramos. And on the mound, our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher making his major league debut, 22-year-old right-hander Joe Ross down at Harrisburg in the AA Eastern League, 2-2 with a 2.81 ERA. Scouting report, 92 to 96 with the fastball. Pretty good running action, a slider, and a changeup.
He gets Joe West, the crew chief, back at the plate today. Kerwin Danley's at first, Gabe Morales at second, and Rob Drake is at third. We mentioned Joe Ross, the younger brother of Tyson Ross. Tyson, with the Padres, beat the Reds in Cincinnati last night and was given permission to fly to D.C. today to watch his brother make his debut. That's pretty cool. And Joe Ross was drafted 2011 by the Padres. Jason McLeod and Jed Hoyer were running the show.
No doubt they're excited to see Joe Ross make it to the major leagues, and would probably love to see him get a nice no decision here this afternoon.
Right. A good way to put it. Jason was in charge of their draft. Jed Hoyer was the GM of the Padres, and we are underway. A strike called and a fastball to Dexter Fowler to get us started.
And I guess we're going to throw that ball out of play. First pitch. That's new, isn't it?
Yeah. One and one on Fowler.
This might have been Joe West's idea. Looked like Joe tapped Ramos on the shoulder and said, let's get that ball for the kid. It's a kinder, gentler Joe.
Swing and a miss on a changeup.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key pitch to watch. That's a pitch that, from what we've been told, is kind of an emerging pitch for the young right-hander.
He blows him away on a pretty good fastball at 94.
That's the one you're going to want to keep, and we're going to throw that one out of play too.
76 degrees as we get started. Possible threat of rain, but we're good to go at this point. Now Anthony Rizzo, 2 homers last night for the 8th time in his career. He was robbed of an extra base hit by Denard Span in his final at bat. And he comes in with a 10-game hitting streak. Foul strike on Rizzo. Now Ross came over from the Padres. It was a 3-team trade involving the Rays, the Padres, and the Nationals. Cut and a miss, 0-2. The Nationals, interestingly enough, JD, everybody said they had too many starters when the season began. Tanner Roark was actually put in the bullpen as a result. But because of the injuries to Doug Fister and now Steven Strasburg, they've had to scramble a bit.
Yeah, depth has been challenged a little bit. We've got one of the best 1-2 punches in all of baseball with Scherzer and Jordan Zimmerman. Scherzer there with Gio Gonzalez, who pitched the opener of this series.
Off the plate inside. First time Ross has missed. Second time he's missed.
Goes back to the changeup. If indeed that was the changeup at 90 miles an hour. It's a hard one, but had good sinking action. Kind of a world do we live in now, the guys are throwing 90-mile-an-hour changeups.
Hit hard on the ground, but right into the shift. Taken care of by Espinosa. I could be wrong, but I feel like we haven't seen that a ton from Anthony Rizzo. Just kind of the hard hit ground ball directly into the shift.
Yeah, I would say probably less so than the last couple of years.
Chris Bryant hitting third today. 1 strike on him. This is his 200th career plate appearance. 834 OPS to date. And the funny thing is, JD, you add it all up. I feel like he's been good. But I think everybody watching him feels like there's a lot more.
Gosh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
2-1.
Yeah, and some players come quicker than others to reach their full potential, but there's a lot of people around the game that I've talked to that think, it's not until you have a couple thousand major league at-bats before you're fully cooked.
Harper makes the catch. Nationals coming up against Jason Hammel. And will lead off as we check out their Southwest starting lineup. Ryan Zimmerman, good numbers against Jason Hammel, not so much against the Cubs this season. Harper leading the majors in OPS. Rendon, third game back from the DL. Wilson Ramos, a catcher. It's Clint Robinson. Remember, he got picked off to end the game on Thursday. Ian Desmond is the shortstop. Danny Espinosa had the game-winning homer last night. And we mentioned Ross making his big league debut.
And as we check on the Cubs defensively, you'll note Addison Russell making his first start at shortstop. Starlin Castro gets the day off. Outfield, Coghlan, Fowler, Lake. Russell joined on the infield by Bryant, Herrera, and Rizzo. Montero behind the plate, and the Lexus starting pitcher for the Cubs. Jason Hammel, he has been money. 4-2, 282, his whip. 0.896 walks plus hits per innings pitched, the best in the league. Doesn't walk anybody.
Yeah, I don't think it would be premature to say he is a pretty good all-star candidate. Span, Zimmerman, and Harper. Span knocked in a run last night, but it was the catch he made against Anthony Rizzo that grabbed most of the attention.
Yeah, I seem to recall him making a big catch at Wrigley too, a diving catch on a ball in front of him. This time he retreats to the wall. That one was not going to fly out of here, but obviously would have been extra bases for Anthony.
And thus our T-Mobile game changer, Denard Span. The 1-1 is fouled away. I guess Jason Hammel's come full circle, right? We were here in Washington last July, so almost to the day, about 11 months ago. Had a very good start, and after 6 innings and 92 pitches, he came out of the game, and we thought, that seems early. And then we found out later he had been pulled because the Cubs were finalizing a trade with the Oakland Athletics. I think he had his family here in D.C.
That's right.
Jason, it wasn't a huge surprise. He said he was disappointed to get traded. He did end up with a team that made the playoffs in the American League. And right after the season, became a free agent, re-signed with the Cubs as he strikes out Span.
Picking up where he left off last time out against the Marlins when he struck out 11. Did not walk anybody. That's a different look. Two-seamer with great action. Finish off Span. The slider last time out was really good. Fastball command has been outstanding.
You know, it's funny, I haven't asked Jason specifically, but I think I know the answer. Here's Zimmerman. Most players should be selfish in terms of they're looking at the world through their eyes first. But if you asked him today, do you understand what happened last year on this time? You go, absolutely. They got Addison Russell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thrilled.
He has a real good understanding of how the game works. Yeah, and now he's got a chance to benefit from having that guy on his side.
Zimmerman, as we showed you, good success against Hamill. He's 1 for 19, however, against Cubs pitching so far here in 2015.
Tough night for Wada.
Rough night for Tsuyoshi Wada last night.
Have good finish on his pitches. Left a lot of balls out over the plate.
Routine for Fowler. 2 outs, and it'll bring up Bryce Harper, third for the second straight game.
Well, as we continue our statistical tour through the Jason Hamill profile here, the league is batting just .215 against him. Right-handed batters 199, lefties 242. He's only allowed 1 home run to a left-handed batter.
Harper first pitch swinging and a bloop base hit to left. Back to our conversation last night. Harper has been an extremely patient hitter, but every once in a while you just got to go up there and hack him.
Yeah, you get a sense of what a pitcher's trying to do. They're trying to crowd him with a fastball, and leaks back over the plate a little bit. He doesn't really square it up. He had to kind of go up and get it. And a soft base hit into shallow left.
Yeah, he only swings at 40% of the first pitches he sees. Batting .300 when he puts it in play. So here is Anthony Rendon. 3 for 8 with a double. First 2 games off the DL. Plan was to play him a lot at second base with Yunel Escobar at third, but Escobar got hurt on Thursday night. And we have not seen him since. So he's day to day. Funny how it works out. Espinosa then gets in the lineup last night, hits the game-winning home run. And Rendon's been playing third.
Yeah, excuse me. Espinosa's playing well for the Nationals too. It's like the presence of Escobar has forced him to elevate his game a little bit as he fights for playing time.
Toss to check on Harper. That's Tony Tarasco, their first base coach. Bob Henley's over at third. Fly ball to deep left, way back. Coughlin on the warning track, and I think the wind stopped that ball from going out. The wind is blowing straight in from left field. A break for Hamill.
Ball really juiced by Rendon. We thought it was going to fly out of here. The wind knocked it down. Not only did we think it was going to fly out of here, look at Jason Hamill. He's waiting for another ball. Like he reached into his pocket and found 320s and a 10.
So maybe that'll be a good omen today for Jason Hamill. He assumed he was down 2-0.
Yeah, we didn't have it on that last shot. He kind of made eye contact with Joe West, and Joe was chuckling too.
So second inning. Still scoreless. It'll be Miguel Montero, Junior Lake, and Chris Coghlan. That had a Wrigley Field flavor, didn't it? Ball that looked like it was easily gone, and the wind knocked it down. Ross went 1-2-3 in his first major league inning. Ball one to Montero.
If he's dealing with nerves, he was able to pitch around it there in the first. Looked very composed. He's shown a willingness and an ability to go inside on both right and left-handed hitters.
Spans circling. He's got it.
Cub fans, let's go. Summer's right around the corner. Things are heating up at Wrigley Field. Make your plans now to catch a game at the friendly confines. The Cubs back home starting Thursday. And it's a 6-game homestand with the Reds of Cincinnati and the Indians of Cleveland. Get your tickets at Cubs.com.
Inside on Junior Lake. That is a strike. Junior making his 5th consecutive start in right, replacing the injured Jorge Soler.
Tight little slider there. We've seen the whole arsenal. It's like fastball changeups to the right, or excuse me, left-handed hitters will go fastball slider to the righties.
Born in Berkeley, California, went to Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland.
6 years younger than big brother Tyson. Wonder if he called them to get a scouting report on the Cubs.
Yeah, Tyson's faced the Cubs, a couple of times this year, I think. That's Rendon. And that's out number 2. I think it's very cool the Reds, or the Padres rather, let Tyson Ross come here to watch his younger brother. Because you only make your debut once.
Yeah, so that's the advantage of being a starting pitcher. It's easier to sneak away.
Strike to Coghlan.
So all you youngsters out there considering a career in baseball, keep that in mind. You get to play more golf if you're a starting pitcher and go watch your brother pitch in the big leagues.
They work out together in the off season.
Joe a 1st-round pick. Tyson was a 2nd-round pick. Draft is what? Tuesday? Tomorrow? It's coming up.
Monday.
Today's Saturday. I was thinking today was
Monday
Sunday.
through Wednesday. It feels like a Sunday.
Yeah. Won't have too many of these straight up noon starts.
count, 3-2. Joe has said that having an older brother in the major leagues has been very beneficial to him because Tyson has gone through the minor league grind. A fly to right. Harper is over, and it's going to be to the seats, out of play. Joe had committed to UCLA before being drafted by the Padres. Bounce to the second baseman, Espinosa. Ross with a couple of perfect frames to start his career. 0-0 early. Coverage in town, starting with Blackhawks pregame live, then flip to CSN Plus after Game 2 for dressing room reaction, highlights, and more on Blackhawks postgame live. Stanley Cup Final Game 2 coverage begins at 5:30 on CSN Chicago. Another benefit of a noon start here in D.C. to watch Game 2 tonight.
Yeah, with time for a nap in between for old people.
Hamill against Wilson Ramos. 2 for 4, a double, and RBI, scored a run, robbed another hit, and that one deep left. Coghlan will not have a play this time. A booming home run for Ramos. 1-0 Washington.
It was almost as if Jason was going to test that win and say, well, can I really just pump it down the middle and let him hit it in the air and see what happens? The 2-0 fastball to Rendon was channeled, well hit, but stayed in the yard, of his first pitch fastball to Ramos out over the heart of the plate. And as I mentioned last inning, Jason's fastball command has been outstanding. He's been able to pretty much pound away at that outside corner to the right-handed hitters. That was his intention here. This one just leaked a little bit on him, and Ramos took advantage. There's a Ford home run replay for you, number 4 for Ramos.
He has hit 4 homers this year, and his last 2 have come versus Cubs pitching off Justin Grimm. That was a game winner at Wrigley Field, and a go-ahead shot here. The 1-0 on Clint Robinson. Slider for a strike. He got picked off by David Ross on Thursday night at first base to end the ball game. He thought he was safe. He might have been, but he was called out. Russell backpedaling, called off by Fowler for the out.
Pitching is a lot like golf. First couple holes in a round of golf, sometimes it takes a while to find your swing and direct the ball where you want to. Same thing with pitching. Sometimes it takes a couple innings before you get locked in. The hope is that if that's the case, you get away with it. You did with Rendon, did not with Ramos. Hopefully he can settle in and start picking away at that corner.
Outside on Ian Desmond. Open stance from the right side and a slider strike. Hamill, one of 2 active pitchers to go unbeaten against a team with 8 or more wins. Cole Hamels is 9-0 against the Cincinnati Reds. You remember how many starts Roy Oswald made before he lost to the Reds?
A lot.
Like 20
I don't remember
or
the
something?
number, yeah.
Randy Johnson had that perfect record against the Cubs. Herrera makes a catch at foul ground. Desmond is out.
So Budweiser Bleacher Fridays continue on the next homestand, June 12th. The Cubs are going to go country. Fans will enjoy country music hits played before and during the game. All Budweiser Bleacher fans 21 and older will receive a country cat presented by Budweiser. Special entertainment in the bleachers includes live music, additional giveaways, photo ops, fun games. Those are the best kind. The party will continue with some post-game fun at a bar in Wrigleyville. For tickets, visit Cubs.com. I hope they do the one where you drop the clothespin into the milk bottle.
Bunted by Espinosa. Bare hand pickup by Hamill for the out. I'm going to try to decipher what in the world you're talking about. 1-0 Nationals. Season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. 1-0 Nationals as Jonathan Herrera will lead it off. Addison Russell getting his first start at short. Starlin Castro his first off day, although you can see him pinch hitting later. And thanks for getting up early for us today, Patrick.
Yeah, quick turnaround, huh? It seems like every time we come here is a weird game time. It's 4th of July at like 11 a.m. or this.
Herrera showed bunt. And strike one on him, I believe. No, called it a ball.
Yeah. So almost double checking with Joe.
Good bunt. Ramos, however, will get him. One away.
Man.
So Patrick, Rafael Soriano, former National, former Ray, looking for a job, and I guess he's going to throw for some teams, including the Cubs, this coming week.
The Cubs have been kind of kicking the tires on him for a while, and he recently dropped Scott Boras and moved to Octagon, which is an agency that has a number of players here, and as well as Joe Madden. So I think watching this team, I think they could use some bullpen help. The Cardinals and Blue Jays are two other teams that reportedly are kind of in the mix. So I think it makes sense. He's a guy that Joe Madden said yesterday. I thought it was interesting. He's a guy that doesn't throw 100 miles an hour. He's a guy who studies hitters, figures out ways to get him out. Maybe he'll walk a guy to set up the next guy. But yeah, I think you're going to see the Cubs in a ton of rumors between here and the end of July.
2 strikes on Jason Hamill. Krista Norfia is on a rehab assignment, Double-A Tennessee. I think he's played a couple of games. Got the DH in order coming up in Detroit. So we might see some roster movement here the next few days.
Yeah, I think Joe put it well that it's good for conjecture both on our end and even internally in the front office. And I don't think Javier Baez is going to show up in Detroit. I know that's a guy that fans and media have been wondering about, but it sounded like if everything goes well with Denorfia, he looks like the ad there, and I don't think they're going to go crazy and surprise us all with Kyle Schwarber just yet. Really, almost exactly a year after he got drafted number 4 overall.
2-2 on Hamill. Russell is on deck. And up and in, it's full. 3-2. We asked you about the draft the last time we had you on. Anything new since then?
Finish your mock draft.
Yeah. Who are the Cubs taking at number 9?
Well, it's funny. Baseball America, they're great. This is what they do, and I think that the Cubs taking a different pitcher almost every time. 4 or 5 different versions of it. But that's how this is. When you're picking 9, and it's kind of a wide open draft. There's no obvious number 1 guy, and they kind of got to wait their turn. And as someone said, Theo will say he wants a pitcher, and then he'll take the hitter. So I think that's kind of how it's playing out. Now they're discussing it back in Chicago. I'm sure they're watching now, hashing out the.
Yeah. So they'll have their board, and they'll have their priorities listed, and the top guy who's available at the time is the guy. Or and then obviously they'll have conversations with the players in advance, find out about signability and things of that nature. Those mock drafts in baseball are basically an exercise just to let people know who the best prospects are, right? In football, sometimes it can really pin down who's going to go where.
What team needs what, yeah.
And it's interesting to note they haven't quite ruled out Brady Aiken yet.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Thanks, Patrick. 1-0 Nationals. Sean Maloney and the Fire back in town for an important Eastern Conference match with Orlando City. Coverage starts at 7 right here on CSN Chicago.
They've got that Ka guy at Orlando City.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Ross, with his first career plate appearance, he has been perfect on the mound through 3 in his major league debut.
Setting the bar awfully high, kid.
That's Herrera.
Pretty good swing, too. Saturday next. Cubs take on the Reds at 6:15. And the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a Joe Madden debut bobblehead presented by Pepsi. For details, visit Cubs.com.
Good to see Joe in his Cubs uniform. Doesn't he usually have the pullover on?
Yeah, usually got the hoodie.
I think he's got about a 75, 76 degree
threshold
before he goes with short sleeves. He likes it hot. Bernard Span's been really good for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And they really needed a leadoff guy.
Popped him up. Rizzo really wanted it, but Herrera said, no, I'll take it.
It was like, you can yell all you want, big guy, but this is mine.
You play every day.
Yeah. Not being a ball hog.
Zimmerman flying to center in the first. Wilson Ramos with a long leadoff homer in the second, the only run to this point. Fastball was up a little bit, but Zimmerman couldn't get it.
Nationals broke out last night, but they, like the Cubs, have really struggled offensively over the last couple of weeks.
Soft liner right to Herrera. A couple of putouts and an assist in the inning for the very busy Jonathan Herrera.
We head to the fourth. Cub fans, don't miss your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Reserve your place in line for History in the Making. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's free. It's easy to register. Visit Cubs.com for details. Cubs.com/waitlist to be precise.
So the second time through, Cub hitters. And one quick look at Joe Ross. Nobody has reached through 3, and it's Dexter Fowler. Takes a changeup low. The Nationals win last night, coupled with a Mets loss 7-2 in Phoenix. Put Washington back a half game ahead of the Mets in the National League East. Cubs have been losing some ground in the Central and in the wild card here as of late. Shallow left, that one could drop. It will, but it's foul. Good effort by Rendon and Desmond.
Big guy Robinson closing from left field. Good pursuit by the infielders, but nobody can make the play. Rendon got a piece of it off the end of his glove. See the one the other day where 3 Milwaukee guys all went flying into the stands all at the same time?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Almost hit him. Cardinals and Pirates have both won 4 straight. And that means the Cubs are now 8 back in the division. Base hit right field. First hit for the Cubs today.
Second time around, second look at the youngster. Maybe the Cubs could start to figure him out. He's been a little better of late. A base hit in the game last night, 2 the night before. Cardinals have not lost more than 3 in a row at all this year. It's the longest losing streak, and that's only happened to them once. They've been remarkably consistent. The Pirates have been just scorching here over the last couple of weeks.
Cardinals a 2-1 winner over the Dodgers. Pirates 10-8 in Atlanta. So Pittsburgh now has rattled off 12 out of 14.
Rizzo attacking that first pitch there. He homered his first time up on a first pitch last night. He's batting over 600 when he puts the first pitch in play. We talk so much about his patience and how selective he is, but it's not like he goes up there looking to walk. He's looking to do damage. He's willing to challenge early. He's willing to take on the challenge.
Well, he doesn't give an inch either, does he? That pitch almost hit him. He didn't flinch at all.
Doesn't attack often, but when he does, he takes full advantage. Yeah, no skipping rope there. Just kind of stands in there. Now working from the stretch for the first time this afternoon.
Ground ball, and that'll get through. Into center, Fowler glides over to third.
That's exactly what the Cubs needed to do, put a little pressure on the young guy. Obviously he's gaining confidence as he moves through the batting order for the first time. Essentially unthreatened now. Back-to-back base hits, solid. Ground ball base hit by Rizzo. He's out there at second base. Umpire almost got clipped by that one. Gabe Morales.
Now Chris Bryant. First and third, nobody out. Ground ball to third. It gets away from Rendon. Everybody's safe. Fowler at first had hesitated. It's 1-1.
Ruled a base hit, too hot to handle for Rendon. Desmond, nice play on the carom. And if Desmond had looked to second base right away, they might have had a shot at Anthony. He looks home first.
Okay, so with Fowler holding there, I assume he would have taken off had Rendon thrown to second.
Yeah, I think that's the play there. You go to stay out of the double play. But I think the ball was just hit so sharply.
Maybe he was waiting to see if it might have been caught on a line. So 3 straight hits here in the 4th inning. 1 strike on Montero.
RBI number 34 for Bryant. Ties him with Rizzo for the club lead.
That's after spending the first 8 games at AAA. Cubs went 5-3 before they called Chris Bryant's name. 0-2 now. Somewhat a late arriving crowd, as you can imagine, with a 12:05 start, but the ballpark has filled in nicely. Might have a good walk up today with the weather too.
Bleary-eyed Washingtonians here. Montero just 5 out of his last 44. One of those 5 a home run in the ball game last night. What's capacity here? Pretty big ballpark.
It's in the 40s somewhere, I think.
Here, let me look. 43,341.
There you go.
Ballpark opened in 2008. Nationals began playing in 2005.
Yeah, at RFK Stadium, I'd call this a pretty significant upgrade.
Major upgrade.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I can't hear RFK Stadium and not hear Howard Cosell in my head doing Monday Night Highlights from back in the day. Kid obviously knows what he wants to do, shaking Ramos off repeatedly in that sequence. Trying to bury that slider down and in. Much more deliberate here with men on base.
The kick and the 2-2. It is gone full. Good battle here. 0-2 to 3-2. 8 pitches so far. Lake on deck. Consecutive hits by Fowler, Rizzo, and Bryant to start the inning. They'll get 1, and that's it. First and third for Junior Lake.
Rendon back at third base. Junior Lake likes to bunt. Now Rendon starting to come in.
Tied it on the Bryant RBI infield hit. Now trying to grab the lead. 1-1. Astros and Blue Jays will get started in about 10 minutes up at Rogers Center. Ober, Holzer, and Hutchison scheduled starters. Josh Donaldson goes into that game with 15 home runs for the Jays, hitting .311. Luis Valbuena, the former Cub, playing third today for Houston. He's hitting .189. He has 12 home runs, 21 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
It's kind of symbolic of that team, that Astros team. They've got a bunch of guys that don't hit for average, but hit the ball out of the ballpark. There's a good breaking pitch from Ross.
Yeah, their top 7 hitters in the lineup today, all slugging in the 400s. Nobody hitting over 295. A lot of 230s, 225. 2-2. Ross is looking for a strikeout here or a ground ball at an infielder. Coughlin's on deck.
It's a situation where Junior's got to be willing to shorten up the stroke a little bit. Hasn't really shown an inclination to do that in the past.
And he chased one there. Big strikeout for Ross. 2 down.
Talk a lot about it. This club, we knew they were going to strike out a lot. They have more than any other team. It's not just the strikeout, so it's the approach in any given situation.
So Steve McCatty, the pitching coach, will head out to talk it over with Ross. And this may be of the, hey, you know, you've got a base open. It is second, not first, but
yeah, and numbers for Coughlin much better lately. Swinging the bat pretty well all season long. He's hit into a lot of bad luck lately. The ball's starting to drop in for him.
well, we talked after Kyle Hendricks gave up that devastating 2-out 3-run double the other night in Miami, how sometimes a pitcher in this spot might relax just a little bit. And that may be also why McCatty went out and said, look, you're not out of this yet. Two and 0.
Funny, Joe, at times it looked like he's been a little generous off the outside corner, but there's been a handful of pitches on the plate that he's called down that appear to be good pitches. And Ramos is chatting with him again, or was just momentarily. Just kind of quick little turn over the shoulder, doing a little lobbying.
Good place to do it here in D.C. Now starting to look like a pitch around with Herrera on deck.
First in war, first in peace, last in the American League. That was the old slogan.
Three-0 swinging, and Desmond will take it to second unassisted to end the inning. Cubs tie it, but Ross limits the damage.
physical therapy are back. Give your kids an unforgettable baseball experience this summer. First camp kicks off in Lake Forest on June 22nd. You can sign up at Cubs.com/kids.
I like the pause. 1-1 as we play the bottom of the fourth.
Got a little Sinatra walk-up music for Bryce Harper. The best is yet to come.
Bryce Harper is still just 22 years old. He takes a strike. 6'3", 215. At one point he was a catcher. Russell at short. Gets to show off his strong throwing arm.
He threw a little bit of a sinker there. Yeah, Harper was a good amateur catcher. They just felt like he'd get to the big leagues quicker if they moved him out from behind the plate.
Played the Arizona Fall League in 2010 as a 17-year-old.
It's a first chance for Russell today over there at short.
Yeah, Joe was considering giving Starlin tomorrow off with the built-in off day on Monday. That would have been 2 in a row, but just looking at the body language, there's been some frustration for Starlin. We saw him kind of throw his bat in his helmet after one particular at bat. So this is just one of those take a day, take a breath, get back in there tomorrow. One and two to Rendon.
Rendon just a 2-0 fastball that we thought was going to fly out of here first time up. Wind knocked it down. Ooh, ugly swing.
That is being kind as he strikes out. Number 2 for Hamill.
Great bite on that breaking ball. Made a really good hitter look bad.
Ramos was bothered by a sore thumb. Did not play Thursday, but he is 3 out of 5 since. With a double, a home run. Should have had another hit, but Junior Lake with a diving catch last night. He's a strong cat. You can see he's got a pretty thick midsection. At that catcher's rear end.
Yeah.
Wilson Ramos.
Saw the team bus empty. You would know which guy was the catcher.
Slider misses low. 2-1. Another good slide piece by Hamill. 2-2. It's probably been his best pitch this year. His manager says it has worked off the fastball command and has set up the slider.
Sense at that time he told himself, whatever you do, don't let it leak back over the plate. He really pulled it too far.
He's been the Cubs' most consistent starter to date. Lowest ERA coming in.
backed up on him. About over his last 7 starts, a 1.99 ERA. During that stretch, opposing batters are hitting 181 against him with a 214 on base percentage. Giving up 5 or fewer hits in his last 7 starts.
Sometimes when you see a guy get off to this type of start, you look at their FIP, some of their other numbers, and you go, well, he's due for a regression. Actually, his FIP is lower than his ERA. Called strike 3. And that will end the inning. 1-1 from DC. Kyle Hendricks will pitch for the Cubs in the series finale. Coverage kicks off at 2:30 with Cubs pregame live. It's presented by Fields Auto right here on CSN Chicago. Cub fans here in D.C. Blackhawk fans in D.C. And Joe Ross making his major league debut has been impressive. He's matched Jason Hamill pitch for pitch here early on. Now we're in the 5th. It'll be Herrera, Hamill, and Russell. Cubs 3 out of 15 against Ross. Nationals just 2 for 14. Against Hamill, there's a drag bunt, and Herrera safe as Ross made a throw that I wasn't sure he was going to make, and he nearly hit Herrera in the head with that throw.
I remember Herrera tried to bunt last time. He did bunt last time. Ramos made a play on him. This time he puts it in a perfect spot. Drag bunt. The only option was Ross. Herrera making sure he stays in that running lane. That was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, Herrera nearly made a move towards second. He was looking at Brandon Hyde. And that's a good job by Zimmerman to apply the tag just in case. And I think Matt Williams is asking that very question. I don't think he made
a committed step towards second base.
A move to second. It was more of asking the question. And so the 4 umpires will get together. I don't think throwing out your hands and asking the first base coach whether he should go or not counts.
No way. No way. And I think that's what Matt's asking. So instead of challenging, he's saying, did anybody see it differently? So the umpires will get together and talk about it. I don't know what else he could be asking for. He was clearly fine going down the line.
Yeah, I mean, the other part of it could have been, was he out of the baseline?
So here's what's interesting. It looks like he's going to review this. He's going to challenge after having the umpires confer. It's like they got together and said, no, he didn't. He was fine. And then, well, I want to challenge anyway. And if we're worried about pace of play, shouldn't the rule be you can do one or the other, but you can't do both?
Yeah, and again, I'm curious what the challenge is, because it's either baseline or move towards second. This is where it'd be nice if the crew chief had a little microphone that he could announce to the crowd. The Nationals are challenging this.
Right. Yeah,
or
so
that.
we know the specific challenge. This is what, the third challenge in this series, and none of them have been overturned, if I recall correctly. And he never made a signal. So we're in the dark.
Well, I'll tell you what. Was it a challenge or was it a rules clarification?
I don't know.
Was that?
Yeah, rules check.
It was a rules check. Okay, so it was not a challenge. That makes sense. Runner goes, ground ball, backhanded by Zimmerman, and he'll go to the bag to get Hamill. I like that play by Joe Madden. That's the Don Zimmer play, right?
A little hit and run.
Well, just after you have a lot of stuff going on, try something.
Well, and I think Joe hates to bunt. He doesn't like to give up outs. Hamill has handled the bat well this year, so I think he trusts him to put the ball in play. But he wants to make sure he stays out of a double play. So probably in Joe's mind, that was the safest way to get Herrera to second base and still having the option of perhaps pushing that ball through the hole on the right side.
So here's Russell. Again, that was a rules check, not a replay challenge. And you know what? I like that part of replay too.
I wonder what the rule he was checking on. Umpires know the rules. They don't need to check.
I believe the rules check is to find out if a rule is being applied correctly.
Step out. A tougher hitter to maintain his concentration that long. The pitcher holding the ball as long as Ross did would have been wise for Addison to ask for time.
Wide of third. Russell came up as a shortstop, just 5 games at second base at Iowa before Cubs brought him to the big leagues in April. So while most Cub fans know him as a second baseman, he's a shortstop at heart. 4 innings at this level prior to getting the start today, his first in the big leagues. Espinosa will get him. Herrera now at third, 2 outs.
Gabe Morales has to feel like a target out there at second base. At least the second time today he's had to take evasive action.
Is a strike. 1-1.
Backdoor slider called a strike. You see that it was off the plate. And the check swing on the inside fastball that was on the corner. So we're good. We're all even, 1-1 as it should be.
And I have the MLB replay section that I believe covers what we just saw. Crew chief may communicate with a replay official to confirm that an umpire's decision on the field was consistent with the official baseball rules under circumstances in which the misapplication of the rules being checked could result in a protest of the game. Base hit left field. Cubs grab the lead as Dexter Fowler drives in Jonathan Herrera. It's 2-1. Second hit of the day for Fowler.
Struck out his first time up. Used that at bat to learn a little bit about Ross. Used to seeing that ball come out of his hand, what he likes to do. And the last 2 times up, solid single to right, line drive single to the left.
So Fowler now has 8 hits in the 6 games on this trip. That's good to see. Batting average had really faded. He came in at .240. Rizzo bounces it foul. Rizzo's single in the 4th gave him an 11-game hitting streak. That's a new career best. Right field corner. Harper can't get it, and one hops a wall. A little stumble there by Harper. Fowler's going to score. Rizzo's got a double. It's 3-1.
Cubs a little better. Second time against Ross. Third time. A pretty good handle on the young right-hander. Fowler and Rizzo do anyway. Just keeps on keeping on, doesn't he? I think Harper had a notion to try to leave his feet there. Unfortunately for the Cubs, the ball stays in play, allowing Fowler to score.
See, Ross was perfect through 3, but second and third time through, much different story here. Pitch to Bryant, misses low. It also could be, and we have not gotten word on exactly what Joe West was doing on the call to New York, JD. It might have been he was asking if that play were reviewable at all. Is that possible?
Could very well be, yeah.
He may have tried to clarify whether or not they could go back and actually look at the base runner possibly making the move to second. Assuming he was told no. Well, it's what, year 2? Still working out some of the kinks. Hitters count here. The pitch. Bounced foul. Cubs tied it in the 4th. They have taken the lead here in the 5th.
Time to get greedy.
Harper over, but will not have a play.
Appeared to have a pitch to get greedy with. One of the reports I read on Joe Ross said he's got good control in that he doesn't walk a lot of people, but the command within the strike zone could be a bit of an issue. Too many hittable pitches, and that one right there for Bryant. He got away with it.
Full count, Montero on deck.
This is where a lot of clubs like to go. Breaking ball off the plate or fastball up. They opted for the fastball up. Doesn't have quite the juice on that heater that he had earlier. A lot of nerves for a guy making his major league debut, and it's not uncommon for a guy to hit the wall in the middle innings.
So here's exactly what happened. Joe West did go to the headset. He wanted to confirm whether or not you could review a runner attempting to advance to second. That is not reviewable. So when in doubt, they can ask New York. I think that's a good rule. Fly to right. This will be Harper to end the inning. But the Cubs get a couple of runs. 2 2-out RBIs. Fowler and Rizzo, and it's 3-1. Kelly, thank you. 1-0 rather on Clint Robinson. Jason Hamill with a 3-1 lead.
Made the analogy to a golfer earlier.
Yep.
Taking a couple holes to kind of find his swing. And same with Jason with that release point. A little wobbly with his command. First couple innings. Seems to be locked in pretty good right now.
Got him.
Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used Cubs items. This week's auction includes the Chicago Whales 1915 throwback jerseys. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before tomorrow night at 8 to place your bid. Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Line and caught by Russell. Desmond hit it hard, but for an out. Snapped the streak of 3 straight strikeouts for Hamill, but still an out. The only 2 hits he's allowed, the single to Harper in the first and the Ramos homer in the second. He's had 3 1-2-3 innings. He has now retired 11 in a row.
And a 0 in the walk column yet again.
Espinosa takes ball 1 outside. Blue Jays have gotten a first inning run, leading the Astros 1-0. Royals hosting the Rangers here in about a half hour. Kansas City, game back of the Twins in the AL Central. Felipe Rivero is up. Wandy Rodriguez will pitch for Texas. Rangers in second in the West. Matt Garza, J.R. Graham will go Milwaukee and Minnesota in a little while at Target Field. San Francisco's at Philadelphia. Madison Bumgarner will pitch today. He's 6-2.
Dodgers are scuffling, aren't they?
Lost 3 in a row. Half game lead over the Giants.
52 pitches for Hamill so far, 38 strikes, just 14 out of the zone.
Dodgers have Clayton Kershaw on the mound tonight. 4-3 with a 3.73. He'll face Jaime Garcia of the Cardinals. The Tigers, JD, are at 500 after 8 consecutive losses. Price and Danks tonight in Chicago.
Well, Price is their ace, and that's what you need to stop a losing streak. Somebody to step up and just shut the other club down.
Avisail Garcia got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 11th last night after Adam LaRoche had tied it with a home run as the White Sox were down to their final out in the 9th. Tigers are hoping to get Justin Verlander back as early as late next week.
Cubs are off Monday and then play 2 games against the Tigers, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I guess we'll miss Price. He's going today.
Yeah, Verlander would not. I think he's pitching today in his potentially final rehab start, so he would not be ready by Wednesday. Tyler Moore on deck. He would bat for Ross. A rare walk issued by Hamill.
Espinosa, he brings some power to the bottom of that batting order. He's hit 7 home runs, including 1 last night.
That is the 7th unintentional walk issued by Jason Hamill. This is his 72nd inning of the year. So it's more for Ross.
Nice to know that you can hand the ball to Jason Hamill a day after your starter only went 3 2/3. The way he's been going. You're comfortable feeling like you're going to get 7 innings out of Hamill most days.
Junior Lake and right to end the inning. 3-1 Cubs after 5. Ross went 5 in his major league debut.
Yeah, pretty solid stuff from Ross. Got off to a great start, retired the first 9 in a row. Cubs started to inflict some damage the last couple of innings. Young man can feel pretty good about his effort here this afternoon. Speaking of young man, Felipe Rivero, also a rookie, just 23 years of age, lefty with a good arm, mid-90s heater, slider and a change.
Came over from the Tampa Bay Rays February of 2014 along with Jose Lobaton. And a minor league outfielder named Drew Vedelson. From the stretch, just his 3rd major league appearance. Strike 1 to Montero.
Had not pitched above Double-A prior to this year. And he had been primarily a starter as a minor leaguer and may ultimately return to that role. You see that a lot. A young guy with a good arm who's been starting and get him to the big leagues, get him some exposure. Especially a lefty with a good breaking ball like that. You can use him to neutralize tough left-handed hitters.
Has a sign from his catcher Ramos, and the pitch 2-2.
According to the Nationals media guide, he's a spry left-hander with a power arm. Rated as the number 18 prospect in the Nationals organization per Baseball America. .95 just off the outside edge. That will create some problems for a left-handed hitter. Walk works here for Montero.
Your big league debut, even when you're done, you don't want to leave the dugout.
Nope. Soak it all in. If you are contemplating a trip to Wrigley Field, the Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. If you ride your bike, use the courtesy bike check. If you drive, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. Details are available at Cubs.com.
Another 3-2, and this time he walked it.
That's called working a walk right there. Montero letting those previous fastballs get deep, didn't want to get fooled by the breaking pitch, fought a couple off, and ultimately took his walk, accepted his walk. In Joe Madden parlance, good at bat, or good plate appearance, I should say.
Blake 0-for-2. Cubs lead 3-1 here in the 6th. Jason Hamill trying to improve to 9-0 lifetime against the Nats. Ball 1. Ryan Braun back in the Brewers lineup after missing a little time. He had another shot in that right thumb cryotherapy.
Sounds like Austin Powers.
Yeah, similar procedure that he had in the offseason.
Well, it looked like he was over it the way he was swinging the bat there for a while.
For the game today, Steven Strasburg here in D.C. through a 30-pitch bullpen session. Coming back from a neck issue. 2-2 on Junior Lake.
We've seen a lot of this Nationals bullpen over the last couple of weeks. They've got some very good arms. This is our first look at Rivero. He's got 95 with the heater, just threw a really good changeup to Lake.
Six to 4 to 3. Base is empty, 2 outs after the double play ball.
A couple of running counts in that sequence, and Joe likes to start base runners, but with Montero on first and a left-hander on the mound, it's a lot tougher to to pull the trigger and start that base run. And Rivera with that riding fastball doesn't appear to be a real ground ball type pitcher. He got one on the curveball.
Coughlin got the 3-0 green light. A couple of men on in the fourth. And a ground ball to short to end the inning. 1-1. This time in the air out into deep center. Span gets to the spot right on the warning track. 3-1 Cubs midway in the sixth. New edition of Beer Money. It's the sports trivia game show where fans test their knowledge for the chance to win cold hard cash. Beer Money tomorrow at 9:30 on CSN Chicago. Third time through for Hamill. He's allowed 2 hits. And here's what JD had for breakfast.
Oh yeah, nothing better. Better than steak at the Ritz. That's from Ben's Chili Bowl here at the ballpark.
I had a plain kale salad. 1-1.
That's rather redundant, isn't it? The plain kale salad.
I'm kidding, of course. Buddy Chris Campbell with this note. So Jason Hamill with 7 unintentional walks in 72 innings. 3 pitchers have had 7 unintentional walks in a game this season.
It's really remarkable. You never say that Jason was wild, but when you look at his career numbers, kind of around average, maybe even a little above average some years in terms of his walk rate. But he's been a true artiste this year, painting with that fastball. tougher now as you go through the lineup for the third time. Although the numbers for Hamill this year are interesting. He's actually been better deeper in the game.
Key pitch here, leadoff guy, 3-2 on Span, and he walked it. Well, that's 2 today for Hamill, both in the last 2 innings. But the mitigating factor here is that he hasn't allowed many hits. Keeping that whip in pretty good shape.
This is only the second time this year he's had more than 1 walk in a game. Stands to reason when he'd only had 7 coming in. 3 of those had been in 1 start against Milwaukee back on May 8th.
Good lead by Span. Not running as Zimmerman looks at ball 1.
Yeah, when Jason gets out of whack a little bit, what you'll see is that front shoulder leak towards first base. He'll fly open. I mean, he finishes that way anyway, but just needs to keep that front side closed a little bit longer. That will allow him to get the fastball back down and get back on top of that breaking pitch. So the walk followed by that last offering got Montero's attention, and no doubt in the dugout as well.
First, Span able to get back.
Nice adjustment by Hamill, back on top of the breaking ball. Quality pitch. Runnerish down there with that lead. He's not done a lot of running this year. 3 steals and 3 tries.
Two and 1. Pitch count in good shape. 2 hits, 2 walks. Not a ton of traffic, but obviously a key spot in this game when you consider where their lineup is, with Harper on deck and a 2-run lead here in the 6th.
Matt Williams, we're thinking about encouraging Span to run here. 2-1 count. Hamill's got to be around the plate. He's saying no to something.
Three and 1. Double play ball. Russell Herrera Rizzo. That is huge.
It is huge. Wow.
2 down.
Yeah, that cleans it up. Harper do the bat. That was the one thing I thought about running on the 2-1 pitch. Probably wouldn't do it on 3-1, but on the 2-1, just to make sure you stay out of a double play and give Harper a chance to tie the ball game. But that all goes away with that 6-4-3 double play.
Harper with 2 outs and nobody on. Yeah, just like that, the sun is coming out again. Good slider.
I think it's in Harper's contract. When he bats, the sun has to come out. Look at those numbers.
Yeah, he leads all of baseball in OBP, slugging, OPS. Well, all of that's going to go down on that fly out. Through 6, it's 3-1 Cubs.
At bat is up to the moment. At any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins. They've got replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet.
Jason Hamill got into somewhat of a precarious position, walking the leadoff man. Got behind Zimmerman, but then got a double play ball. Harper flied out. Cubs still lead, and Hamill may get a third plate appearance. In fact, I'd bet on it.
Herrera, he is in bunt mode today, baby. Time it looked like he was going to push it out towards second base.
Zimmerman makes the catch.
Yeah, the 3-1 pitch to Zimmerman that induced the double play. Obviously a key pitch for Hamlin. I don't think that's the pitch he wanted to make. Up in the strike zone, still managed to get Zimmerman to hit it on the ground.
Seven out of 28. So he has already tied his career high with those 7 hits. 0 for 2 in this one. Late afternoon start on getaway date tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks 1-2 with a 399. Jordan Zimmerman 5-2 with a 288. Cubs will have the DH at their disposal Tuesday and Wednesday for the first time this season in American League Park. 1-1 against the American League. Both those games at Wrigley Field against the Royals on the last homestand. And he struck him out swinging. First strikeout for Rivero in his second inning of work. 2 outs, and here's Russell.
Looks like it'll be Sanchez and Green for the Tigers in that 2-game set. Lester and Arrieta up for the Cubs.
Just had a shot of John Lester. It's kind of an occupational hazard for a starting pitcher, especially when you wait 4 or 5 days between starts. Your pitching hand is your moneymaker, right? And the whole arm is, but you've got blisters and cuticle issues, and you got to watch it.
Yeah, some guys have a lot of issues with blisters. I never had them. I don't think I threw hard enough to create enough friction on my fingers, but especially guys with pull on that seam to get sink or sharp breaking ball will deal with blister issues.
Kerry Wood had blister issues in his career. Except they're talking about manicuring right now. Jason Hamill has been battling a cracked fingernail.
The most obsessive guys are the knuckleballers, filing their nails, playing with that knuckleball grip. Jason doesn't really obsess about a whole lot. He's a kind of a lighthearted guy.
Pretty carefree.
Yep. Having a lot of fun with the way he's been pitching.
Russell awaits. Here it is. Hop to first. Foul ground. Zimmerman to end the inning. Stretch time. Cubs 3. Nationals 1. A lot of sightseeing. And it's become a really good baseball town. It was a good baseball town back in the day in the American League, but the National League Expos moved here in 2005. 3-1 Cubs. Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. The RBI guys so far today. Bryant in the fourth to tie it. Fowler and Rizzo as the Cubs took the lead in the fifth.
Now, in 1901, a charter member of the American League, the Washington Senators, played as the Senators for a little while, then didn't have a lot of success, so they became the Nationals. So they were known as both for a long time, and then officially became the Senators again in 1956. That franchise moved to Minnesota. Washington was given an expansion franchise that ultimately moved to Texas to become the Rangers in 71, 72, 71, I believe.
The team was managed at one time by Ted Williams. We often do on this date. Well, today is the 71st anniversary of D-Day. Invasion of Normandy.
Yogi Berra was part of that. Big movement to get Yogi awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Seems like it would be a no-brainer. Over 5,000 ships, 13,000 aircraft supported the invasion, and by the end of the day, the Allies gained a foothold in continental Europe, according to the Army's website on D-Day. As Herrera makes a catch. The cost, quoting here from the website, the cost in lives on D-Day was high. More than 9,000 Allied soldiers were killed or wounded, but their sacrifice allowed more than 100,000 soldiers to begin the slow, hard slog across Europe to defeat Adolf Hitler's crack troops. Yeah, army.mil/D-day if you'd like to read more. Nice running grab by Coughlin to get Ramos. 2 outs.
2 quick outs for Hamill here in the 7th. Boy, he's been efficient today. Not having the big strikeout day that he did last time out. An economy of pitches allowing him to cruise here. 2 outs in the 7th.
Four U.S. soldiers were awarded the Medal of Honor for heroic acts on D-Day. Private Carlton Barrett, First Lieutenant Jimmy Monteith, Technician 5th grade John Pinder, and Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. 2-1 on Clint Robinson.
Two walks, 4 strikeouts for Hamill so far. And we tried to bury that slider down and in on Robinson. Didn't quite get it there.
Ground ball, long run for Herrera. He's up, and it's late. Good try. Much more he could do.
Nice play, a play we've seen Addison Russell make a number of times. Guerrero, like Russell, quickly to his feet, just didn't get enough on that throw to get Robinson.
People keep asking how is Jason Hamels on base percentage lower than his batting average, because he has a sac fly and no walks. Sac flies do not count against your batting average. They do count against your OBP.
Well, so this is where you got to really bear down. We talked earlier about pitchers losing focus with 2 outs, 2 strikes. Make sure you stay committed, and they've got dangerous guys at the bottom of their order. Desmond here has power. Espinosa on deck as well. One mistake, and all of a sudden you're in a tie ball game.
Bit of a windy day today. It helped out Hamel early. Thought he had given up a 2-run homer to Rendon, but the wind knocked it down for an out. Outside for a ball. 1-2.
Has been with 20 or more home runs in each of the last 3 seasons.
He struck him out, and that is it for the Nationals in the 7th. It's 3-1 Cubs. Game. Jason Hamel's kind of been the toast of the rotation here in the first 2 months plus.
Yeah, he has been really fun to watch. Not the big strikeout pitcher today that he was last time out, but very efficient. He might take this one to the house. He's through 7. He's not throwing a lot of pitches.
It's PJ Mainville
getting the ammonia towel treatment.
Jason. One strike on Fowler, batting right-handed against the lefty. Rivero in his 3rd inning of work. What is this, 1978?
Yeah, it's old school.
Span's got it. Rizzo 2 out of 3. Just keeps on keeping on. Average up to 330. Breaking ball is in for a strike. So 8-9-1 for the Nationals in the 8th. It'll be Hamill to start the inning. Nobody up in the Cubs bullpen. Rizzo strikes out.
That's the other thing that's been so impressive about Rizzo, the fact that he has not struck out much at all. Quality breaking ball from Rivera there to get him.
First time he has struck out in the series. It's Taylor Hill in the bullpen.
Flipping back through my scorebook here, I think it's the first time he has struck out on this road trip. Well, time to pull out the driver here, Chris. Let it eat. See if he can hit one to Ben's Chili Bowl.
Right field, Harper drifting toward the line. And he makes the catch, and the Cubs done in the 8th. Rivera, 3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Cubs lead by 2. For the 8th with some action in the bullpen in case there are any issues. Danny Espinosa, who hit the game-winning homer last night. See Russell and Strop in the pen. Espinosa leads all National League second baseman with his 7 home runs. Backdoor slider caught the outside corner. Strike 1.
Working in the 8th, Hamlin bonus time now. He's gone 8 once this year. He's against the Mets back on May 13th. He did it twice, also against the Pirates at the end of April. 8 shutout in that one.
Bryant in on the grass against the switch hitter. And he drives that one out toward left center, and it's going to split the alley. And it's going to bounce into that bullpen for a double.
Well, we talked about the power at the bottom of the Nationals order with Desmond hitting 7th, Espinosa 8th. Doesn't leave the yard, but a 2-base hit to get things started. Not a bad pitch. Down, it was over a good chunk of the plate, but down, and Espinosa lifts it to left center.
Espinosa leading National League second baseman in slugging percentage, came in at .475. Here comes Chris Bosio. Nice play in the bullpen by Lester Strode on the bare hand pick on that double.
In this game, as long as he doesn't allow another base runner. As soon as one more man reaches, Joe's probably going to go get him.
Dan Uggla, the pinch hit for Rivero. He's got 1 home run, but it was a big one. Game winner at Atlanta in the Nationals' huge comeback. Their 13-12 win on April 28th, and really jump-started their season. Strike 3 called. He got him. Out number 1.
Uggla was looking fastballs throughout, a series of sliders. Backed up a little bit on Jason, but caught the upper reaches of the strike zone, inside part of the plate. Fairly stress-free for Jason here this afternoon. 4 hits now allowed, a solo home run, a couple of 2-out singles. Now this leadoff double.
Probably his most stressful moment was the final out of the first inning. He thought he had given up that home run to Rendon. The ball was caught. Coghlan back. He's got it. 2 outs. largest crowd of the weekend so far, 38,214. With one more to go tomorrow. And a Cubs win today would set up a season series rubber game tomorrow. Cubs are 2-3 versus Washington. Strike called on Zimmerman. 13-13 all time here at Nationals Park. Swing and a miss on the slider. 0-2.
Leaning heavily on that slider here in the late innings. Tomorrow we've got Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs and Jordan Zimmerman for the Nationals. Nice to get this one in the bank and guarantee yourself a split of this 4-game series heading into the finale tomorrow.
Swing and a miss to get out of the inning. So we will go to the 9th as Jason Hamill has been terrific today. 3-1 Cubs. After getting traded last year while we were here, he signed in the offseason. There's been a great value here early on. And here's how he got out of the 8th inning.
Yeah, after that leadoff double, he really leaned heavily on that slider. That's all he threw to Zimmerman to punch him out. Caught Uggla looking at a slider.
Hamill 98 pitches through 8. I don't think it's a no-brainer that Joe's just going to hand the ball to the closer. He may let Jason come out for the 9th. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm guessing that he will. If it's a one-run game with Harper due to lead off, I might go lefty and then see how it plays out. But with a 2-run lead, the way Hamill has gone, he's earned a shot to go back out there.
Hector Rondon, the closer.
Yeah, and that's the other piece of the equation too. Hector's been a little shaky. Yeah. An insurance run would come in handy.
Ball 1 on Montero. Taylor Hill went to Vanderbilt, born in Nashville. 6th round pick of the Nationals 2011. Debuted last year at the big league level.
Sinker baller gets a lot of ground ball outs.
David Taylor Hill goes by his middle name. That was a changeup. 3-0. So a lot of media guides and bios on players. They'll have a section, favorites, favorite movie, favorite activity. A lot of guys put, working out and surfing the web or whatever. What would you guess? I don't know the answer, but I'm gonna make a guess. The #1 favorite movie among most major league players. What's the one you see more often than any other? Taylor Hill mentioned this movie.
Really? Is it a baseball movie?
No.
Good.
Well, Field of Dreams always pops up. But.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
Ball 4. Second walk for Montero. Nope. Just made a sequel.
Oh, one of the Batman movies?
Nope. Dumb and Dumber.
That doesn't speak well for the fraternity. Come on, fellas.
I don't want to do a Dennis Miller and go on a rant here, but you're allowed to like Dumb and Dumber. You're allowed to love Dumb and Dumber. But in the history of
can't be
film, if that is your all-time favorite movie, you need to get out more often.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they wouldn't say it's the best movie I've ever seen. It's my favorite. It's the one, if I'm channel surfing and I come across it, by golly, I'm going to check it out for a few minutes. Have some dumb laughs. And there's that sinker. He's looking for a ground ball to get 2. Lake wouldn't bite. Well, a lot of these guys grew up in the Harry Potter era, right? Young, mid-20s.
Sure. 2-1 to Lake. Cut on and missed.
You think Anthony Rizzo ever dressed up like Harry Potter and waited in line at midnight to get in to see the first showing at Deathly Hallows or something like that? If he did, would he admit it? I hope so.
Lake strikes out. I knew I'd get pushback on Dumb and Dumber. I like the movie. I'm saying all time. You could pick one on a deserted island. It's the only movie you can watch for the rest of your life. That's what you'd pick.
I don't think I've ever seen the entire movie. I've seen snippets of it. I like a good dumb movie. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. Give me an Animal House, an Old School, Caddyshack, Stripes. I'm in. Here's Coughlin. The 0-1. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. So what's your favorite?
Any
you have
of the Jim Carrey vehicles.
Right.
They call movies vehicles. Favorite movie of all time?
Yes, if they asked you for a media guy, Jim Deshaies'
without giving
picture.
a lot of thought, I'd probably go with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Which has a great baseball scene in it, too, when Nicholson, as Randall Patrick McMurphy, is watching the blank TV and he's reenacting the World Series.
Right.
You want to watch a ball game, Chief? Just raise your hand, Chief. Just raise your hand. Love that scene.
Pulled foul.
How about you?
It's a very, very tough one. I mean, I could name 10 that at any moment in time would be my favorite, but if I had to pick one, I'd say Shawshank Redemption. That's the one I can always.
The Lincoln movie, the Daniel Day-Lewis a couple of years ago, great movie.
Yeah, really good. Actually, my favorite, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Well, they kind of polish things up. They really hit their stride.
Breakfast Club would be on the list. That one right up there. And in about a year, I'm going to say the Cubs 2015 World Series Championship video. That would be
Mark
nice.
it down.
Herrera on deck. No Castro today as Russell started at short. Herrera playing second. Montero on the move, and that'll keep the Cubs out of any sort of double play situation. And he's now at second with 2 outs.
Big opportunity here for Herrera. Looks like Mike Baxter's out on deck. Herrera 1 out of 3 today. A bunt single. He scored back in the 5th. That was after trying to bunt for a hit his first time up. All 3 of his previous plate appearances came leading off an inning. And he gets an RBI chance. Two outs. Gary Jones will be aggressive with Miguel Montero, so important for Montero to get a good secondary lead out there at second base. Shallow for him and left. Line drive base hit to left. It would be tough to score Montero even with 2 outs.
Two and 1 to Herrera. Looped into center. It'll drop for a base hit. Montero's going to score. I think. Yeah, he's in. Made a little closer than I thought. Jonathan Herrera comes through.
Well, that was a huge base hit.
And that's going to get Hamill to the plate. 4-1 here in the 9th.
Said it would be tough to score him on a line drive to left. It was almost tough to score him on a blooper to center. Span closes in a hurry. Gets off a good strong throw to home. Montero just in ahead of that tag. Boy, if that throws right on the money, they might have a play on him. Rare start for Herrera, and he cashes in. Busy day in the field. Good day at the plate.
Line foul by Hamill. Swing and a miss to end the inning. 4-1 Cubs as we go to the bottom of the 9th.
Now.
Herrera getting the nod at second base. A couple of hits, including an insurance RBI. Jason Hamill appreciated that. Matt Caesar now playing left for Coghlan.
Jason, in his career, has 2 complete games. This is his 198th major league start.
Harper sends one to very deep left. Caesar back to the wall. It's gone. A home run. Major League leading 19th for Harper. 4-2.
You love to face Harper with nobody on base. Well, you never love to face Harper. He's been unbelievably good. He's been hitting home runs to all parts of the ballpark. It's a fastball outer third and down a little bit. Nice finish. Great lag extension through that strike zone, and there's the Ford home run replay, and that's going to spell the end of the day for Jason Hamill. What an effort.
So it's a Weber sauces and seasonings call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? 4-2 Cubs in the ninth. pen, and here is Hector Rondon. He's got a 2-run lead. He's got to get 3 outs.
Yeah, and I think Joe Madden might have been tempted to stay with Hamill maybe for a hitter or 2 more, but if there was another reach, then you put pretty big burden on Rondon to finish it off. So he's going to give Rondon a little wiggle room to work with here with this 2-run cushion. And what a job by Hamill. 8 innings plus a batter, 5 hits, 2 runs, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts. Plus we get the much anticipated Rondon-Rendon matchup.
That's right.
Hector got the save here Thursday. Worked a scoreless inning, allowed a hit and a walk. That's the game where David Ross picked the runner off at first base to end the ball game.
Ron and Ren are not related, I don't believe.
Don't think so.
Here comes Hector's 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Converted just 2 of his last 4 save opportunities. Just hasn't been there in the sense that maybe the confidence is waning a little bit. Pitching away from contact more than he normally would. Severe misfire there. That just tells me there's a whole lot going on between the ears right now for Hector.
Yeah, normally in this spot, you bring your closer in, you're not going to have anybody getting loose with nobody on base. But Strop was up earlier, and he's in a just-in-case position today. And I'll tell you, I don't think the leash is going to be very long either.
I think if he walks him here, if Strope's ready to go, I think he makes the move.
In on the hands, foul pop, and out of play.
Cubs have not been doing a lot of winning. Hector has not been particularly busy of late. This is his 2nd appearance on the road trip.
Davidson tweeting, if Rendon gets a hit off Rondon, perhaps they could pick him off in a rundown. I like it.
Behind that fastball as he's in protect mode here. Good action in on the hands might get the trick done then. Maybe Rodin will fly in.
Ball 4.
Decision time for Joe Maddon. Give him 1 more, or does he go get him? Here's your answer.
So Pedro Strop coming on, and no matter what transpires here, there will be closer questions for Joe after the game. Joe has made the call. Strop in. Weber's Sauces and Seasonings call to the pen. We'll be back. Strop normally pitches in front of Hector Rondon, but he's trying to help out his buddy here tonight, or today rather, and get the save. 1 on, 2-run lead. Nobody out. Tough hitter Wilson Ramos.
Almost homered first time up today. Strop worked a scoreless inning here Thursday. He does have 1 save. He's with a 9-6 win against the Diamondbacks back on May 23rd.
Sliders, Steve Reich 1. Rendon the runner at first. Harper led off the inning with his major league leading 19th home run. Cubs trying to hang on here. Bounce to the hole at short, backhanded by Russell. They're going to get the lead man at second. No chance for a double play. So Ramos at first, 1 out.
Good quick first step by Russell. He has not had a lot of action here in his first start at shortstop this year. Quick transfer. And time to get Rendon. Get fancy there. Just make sure you get it out.
Robinson, remember again, he made the final out on Thursday by getting picked off at first. So maybe looking for a little redemption. He got the start in left. He's 1 out of 3. And he takes a ball. It's the guy who nailed him from behind the plate. Foul tip. Strike 2.
Robinson does not have a lot of big league time. 4 games with the Royals in 2012, 9 more with the Dodgers last year.
Gets away, and Ramos will move to second. Not the end of the world. It does take away a possible double play chance, however. And it's 2-2 on the hitter.
A lot of run on that 2-seam fastball. As a minor leaguer, Robinson with good power numbers. 29 home run season in 2010, 23 the next.
Ian Desmond on deck. The only thing Jason Hamill and Hector Rondon and the manager can do is hope Strop can preserve this 4-2 lead here.
Hope Strop can cope.
Yep, and he gets him. 2 down.
Taking advantage of the anxiety of the hitter.
That pitch was never a strike.
Yeah, well out of the strike zone. Robinson was in swing mode.
So 2 outs, and it is Desmond. 0 for 3. 2 hits, 2 runs on Friday. Oh and 1.
Be careful with that slider if you leave it on the inner half. You're asking for trouble.
Strop looking for his 8th career save.
I think that slider was where he wanted to leave it either. This one was off the plate inside, and that one hung right there in the middle. Montero wants to go out and have a little chat. Make sure you finish it off. Down in the count. Don't get lazy with that slide ball.
A win for Hamill today would tie him with Jake Arrieta for the team lead with 5 victories. Here it comes, and we'll do it again.
How about Desmond, boy? He doesn't change his approach, does he? I mean, he's just airing it out. 0-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Still looking to do damage.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Cubs win 4-2 the final. Pedro Strop in for the struggling Hector Rondon.